Hi, my name is Wendy Stapleton. I've been living here now for 24 years in the Middle East. I'm married and I have one son. His name is Jude and he's 10 years of age. He's attending RAK Academy School here in Ras Al Khaimah. I personally absolutely love living here in Ras Al Khaimah. I now call it my home. My personal journey that brought me to Ras Al Khaimah was the start of the Royal Breeze buildings. We got offered one for sale, and on my journey up to Ras Al Khaimah, I realised it's not Dubai. And over the years, I'm selling Ras Al Khaimah through my office, and it made me think about my journey going forward in terms of where would I be in the next 5-10 years in terms of living, because we've always lived in Dubai, my husband and I, but when we opened our other business here, we decided that we would move here. And what was the key point to move here was actually my mum moved over here probably about 10 years ago, and we had kept her in an apartment in Bab al Baha. And then when I realised I was pregnant, and obviously I had my son who's now 10, it kind of made sense for us to move as a family here and start my son's journey off in an Emirate, let's say more quieter than Dubai, to give him a more grounded upbringing, shall we say, because Ras Al Khaimah is completely different in its feel to what Dubai has, or rather what I have seen of Dubai over the years that I've been there. Actually, there's very little time for myself, I feel, generally in life, because I give a lot of my time to other people, and I'm very passionate about my work. I really enjoy my work, so I don't see it as work. But if you said what do I like doing after work, I would say personally I'm a big reader. I like to read, learn. I'm in a book club. I've been in a book club now for the last 3 years. I enjoy going to the spas. We have a great selection here, which, you know, you get five-star treatment throughout all of the spas here. And just relaxing. If I said I'm going for a walk along the beach, because the house is parallel to the beach, it's little things like that. You don't need to be in the hustle and bustle of the world. When you come home, you want to come home, you want to relax. Ras Al Khaimah offers that element of relaxation because the lifestyle is so different. So at home, as a typical Libra, I'm very quiet. So I enjoy the moments to come home and listen to my son on his daily activities. And if I had any other interests, I'm very much into animals. I love cats. I've now got outside my house about 8 stray cats, which I'm feeding. So for me, I have a vision in the future maybe to spend a bit of time with the animal welfare and perhaps do some charity work, because I have a passion, as I said, with the animals. And Ras Al Khaimah gives you these options of doing less things and not spending so much money. So after work, if I said I wanted to come home and just relax, watch a bit of Netflix like most, I'm sure, cook some dinner, sit and talk to my family, that's enough. As a female entrepreneur, I would say personally for me it's been a very good journey. When I came here 7 years ago, there really wasn't any groups for networking. It was pretty much coffee mornings, and you know, you would know your neighbours, perhaps you might have joined the book club. But as a business owner, and having been in Dubai for 17 years, slowly but surely many groups have opened up in the future of Ras Al Khaimah. We have now, as we're all aware, we have the Toastmasters, we have the BNI, we have the RAK Entrepreneurs, we have the Heart of RAK, and of course we have RAK Business Group, which I personally founded when I came here. These groups have now formed some great relationships with people, and it's quite easy to get around and seek help from such a small community, but it's slowly building its momentum to get into something much bigger in the future. So for me, the platforms that there are here that have been created, they're a great starting point for people who are an entrepreneur. They have avenues to go to, they have people to speak to, and look for references for businesses. This is the key issue here. It's very hard when you're new to a country who to trust, and trust is number one, but also with that has to be the action, the follow-up from the persons within the business, and ultimately they must do their job well. So over the years that I've been here, the 7 years, I've built up some very good connections. It's opened many doors and avenues for future relationships, and I now know who I can reach out to if I need something, even as small as the lady that does the nails at home, to somebody that can write a profile for a company, a website, and much more, depending on your business, if it's small to medium or it's a corporate. In the end, another platform which I failed to add was RAK. They've built up a great community. They offer their campus co-working space for networking events. So all of this, from when I came 7 years ago, it's really grown. So I believe the community and the people here have done a great job. In the end, I believe nobody has a crystal ball, but based on statistics, facts, news, growth patterns, ultimately it's very promising. I don't believe it is where it was 19 years ago when I first opened my licence. So for me, I've seen a phenomenal growth from 2007 when we first started to where we are today. And where we are today is definitely not where we were before. But ultimately, the world evolves and things change anyway. So it will never be like it was before. But visibly, with all the new things that are happening here, and there's so many, for the future, I can only say it's very bright. And will it be the same Ras Al Khaimah? Probably not. But in the end, we've all got to change with it. So it could only get better for all of us. My professional purpose, it's a good question. I believe personally is to serve ultimately the people that are in front of me. If somebody, I've always believed if somebody has a question, I try my level best, or they need or want something, I try my level best to get them what they need and want. For years that I'm here, 24 years, I'm watching, let's say, new people coming all the time, and one of the common things is they need a platform to go to. They need someone to reach out to ask these type of questions when you move into a new country. And given the service that I work in for finding a home, car rental, and or starting up new businesses, it's very important that you are surrounded with people that can help you in your journey when you're coming new into the country. And I don't like to say I can't help. It's always been in my brain that if somebody needs something, I will try my level best to get them it and or refer them to somebody. But ultimately, business is to some degree money, and that comes hand in hand, but it's not the ultimate starting point. The purpose is to get the person where they need to be with the questions that they've asked. And if you're unable to deliver that, then just be honest and say so and refer them to somebody else. So for me, that's very important. How do I personally give back to society? I believe with the platform that I've created along with the team over the years for RAK Business Group, I've given back, let's say, a way for businesses to shine in Ras Al Khaimah and to get more business on the basis that there's no cost to them. The only cost that has costed them over the years, and we're up to our 6th year, is the breakfast that we have our events at in the Move and Pick Hotel. So it's there for people who live, work, play in Ras Al Khaimah. They're free to attend, they're free to meet, they're free to connect, they're free to get referrals and do business or form, ultimately, relationships. That's what business is about. So my way of giving, and with the businesses, over 60 events we've had there, we have had even His Highness of Ras Al Khaimah present and speak at the event. So for me, that's a proud moment. I've given the people of Ras Al Khaimah the opportunity to hear what he has to say, and also other businesses that have evolved over the 6 years of it being established. In the end, it's a platform that people can reach out to freely and communicate with each other on. That is ultimately what is the main purpose of it for me. In the industry that I'm in, and generally in the business environment I'm in, the problem always has a solution. The key is to understand what is the problem, and whether it be myself or my employees that would come to me, or the clients that would come to me, the key is to sit with them and write down all the problems and then go through them individually in their own merit. Because when you move from abroad, whether it be where I'm from in England and or another country, there is so many questions in somebody's head, and in their head it's already a problem. But because we're working here and we understand the process and we have processes, we've come across many eventualities over the 19 years of operating. So I feel we're pretty much covered for any problem. However, daily, my staff, myself, we can come across different scenarios. We are not like Europe. As a comparable in the industry of real estate, the real estate worldwide is known for the agents to be just selling, as one example. But here we are acting on both sides as a separate subject. So the juggle is with the team and myself is to be that middle person between both parties and to keep it fair. This is the key, to keep it fair. But if you're looking at a buyer or a seller, equally in the same terms, you've got to treat them the same. But if there's a problem, I believe that there's always a solution. I'm very much, my own mantra is, if you came to me and you said you had 6 weeks left to live, I cannot fix that. I do believe everything else is fixable if it's looked at and addressed in the right manner. Because my star sign is a Libra, so I'm very much balanced in terms of my approach. And I always look at the good, and then I look at the bad, and then I see where to meet it in the middle. If you're looking at specific issues relating to the industry, one of the issues could be the ever-changing pricing and how to manage the expectations from a buyer side and from a seller side. These are challenges that we quite often face, and we always have to look, like I said, you have to go back with the problem to go forward. You can't fix it without looking at the history and understanding the history. And then also the psychology of the business. You have to be good with people in terms of like people, understand people, and that's something that's taught me over the years in terms of how to fix something. Because it starts with your tone, it starts with the explanation to your client. If you're not sitting calmly, listening, reconfirming, it will just start in the wrong way. And life has taught me that, like I said, going back to the earlier comment, you can fix anything, but you have to want to change or look at it as a meet in the middle. because there are so many problems associated with real estate generally, and every day, still today, I'm learning new things from my staff, from myself, from the clients, from my suppliers, from anybody in this industry. I learn something new every day, and that's what keeps me going to try and find an answer, because it's a challenge, and where there's a challenge, it keeps you alive, keeps you going. So for me, I quite enjoy the challenges and the problems, honestly. I guess there are a few unique points about my sustainability with the business over the 19 years. I would say that I'm true to my word. This is very important. If you ask me something, like I said, I will try my level best to get back to you. And one other important fact that I've learned over the years as well is about the care. I care, because when I came here on my journey, the most important thing I felt to most people was about the saving of money. Most people asked a question in terms of what does it cost, where can I get it from, etc., etc. In the end, my value add has been, how can I save these people money when they purchase a house or rent a car? How is it I'm saving them money? I'm saving them money by not just words. I'm actually backing it up with facts and figures, and I'm always reconfirming. If you ask me something, I would always reconfirm it. But in the end, the USPs of the business that I'm in is the consistency. I've not changed myself personally. If you'd met me 19 years ago, I'm still the same Wendy as I am today. Nothing's changed in my personality, in the way I think, the way I work. I am the same person, whether you're talking to me at an agent-to-agent level or a buyer-to-buyer level. I am just Wendy. I am not unique in myself. I'm unique in my way of working, and that points to consistency. There isn't many company owners that are still in their business day to day and love what they do for over 19 years. And I've been in the real estate business for 36 years. To me, it's a passion. So where's my unique points of what I feel and how I drive the team is what I stand for. And I stand for the honesty, like I've said from day one. That's how we drive our business. But the key is still, how are we going to serve you, look after you, and follow through with our processes that get you to where you need to be. And that's on our tagline, which is helping you on your hunt for the perfect home. My advice would be is not to compare it firstly to your home or which country you've come from, and secondly not to compare it to any of the other Emirates in the UAE, because Ras Al Khaimah in its own merit is very unique and special. It has, as we all know, the mountains, it has the sea, it has such natural, its weather overall is a much cooler climate up here in the north, and we have 50 odd kilometres of coastline. For me, I would say to keep in mind it's very grounded. The people are very different to Dubai. Their thought process is a much slower pace, but equally to keep in mind of the future of what's happening in the growth of Ras Al Khaimah. We need to be mindful it will change, and to enjoy it. That's why we're here, to enjoy Ras Al Khaimah. These items that we've got here are meaningful to me personally, because it shows and demonstrates to me that over the years of having my business for 19 years, we've achieved a lot of things in terms of publicly. It's showing that we're visible as a business, that we're good at what we do. And as an example, we're quite often featured in a magazine. This is my business partner, Nima Kataria. She's been my partner now for 19 years in the industry. We ourselves together in the industry over 24 years in the UAE. These are a few of our awards. We have over 50 awards. I'm very proud to say that. We have received many, but what makes it meaningful for me is not about myself and Nima personally. It's about what the business has achieved with the people that have come on the journey with us. And when we receive from the suppliers awards recognising our efforts individually and collectively, this is what makes me happy, especially when you have an agent that's received an award for the best performer and or best agent of the year. You have ones for quarterly, and then you have ones that are recognising myself and my business partner individually as women influencers in this industry, which is male dominated as a separate subject. But myself and Nima, we've stood our test of time of 19 years, and this is a small showcase of what we've achieved. It's meaningful to me, to the business, and it helps people recognise that actually we are a trusted go-to company that knows their business in this industry, and that's the most important thing when you're trying to search for who to go to buy a home and or an investment, especially now more so as there's so many more agents out there. We can say that we've stood the test of time and we've got awards to prove it, and that's a wrap.